What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So now that I know that my F22 engine is going to live to fight another day, got me super excited, and I'm in good spirits. So I'm amped to just get right into the coupe and start getting that chassis ready, just because the F22 engine is going to be up and running way sooner than I originally thought. So that leaves me with less time to actually get the shell ready to be driving, you know. But yeah, other than that, I just want to start cleaning up the shell. So that's kind of what I'm going to be focusing my attention on today. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen the other videos where I have been swapping over some of the parts from the old sedan over to the coupe, you guys probably saw that the interior of the coupe isn't the cleanest. So I'll kind of get into it in this video, but basically I had this coupe originally, like even before I got in the accident and crashed my sedan. So I originally got this coupe as kind of like a parts car. So I took some parts out of this originally, and from there I actually had some plans with it to like it, as you can see, it's kind of, I gutted it and I did start to kind of remove the sound deadening and start to kind of grind it down and prep it, you know. So I did start that process, but I did kind of abandon it once I crashed the sedan. I just kind of dropped everything with cars at that point, you know. So I just took a break, but I'm back at it. But while I was gone, I made the huge mistake of not sealing it, not putting primer or paint or anything over all of the bare metal. So now you can see that there's a lot of surface rust, but luckily for me, I'm here in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, so it is super dry here. I mean, this is like a year's worth of sitting out in the elements, like literally, like the very little rain that we get, I mean, it's coming down straight on the chassis, and like you can see it's like very little bit. So this is what I'm going to be focusing my attention on today, is stuff like this. So you can see there's just little spots everywhere that kind of have some surface rust. There's spots that have just kind of like bare metal. So I kind of want to go through all of that, kind of like regrind it down a little bit. So I went to Harbor Freight earlier and got a couple little kind of like wire brushes. I have the rotary tool right there. So I'm just going to go through and just kind of retouch the surface, just because it's getting a little surface rust. Just kind of regrind it, all that stuff. And then I do have some primer. So this time I'm going to make sure to actually put some primer over everything that I go over. So hopefully after today, it'll still look messy because it'll have primer and stuff. But the main goal for today is to kind of like stop all of the surface rust from progressing any further, and just kind of stop all the rust completely, you know. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be getting into today. So honestly, I'm just going to get right into it. Okay, to start off with, I'm going to focus my attention over here on this side, just because the passenger side, I actually did grind down all of the sound deadening. So pretty much all of this was, or a lot of this was down to bare metal. And over here you can kind of see there's a lot of surface rust, and there's good lighting on it right now. So I'm going to focus my attention on this. I'm going to start off with this nylon bristle. We'll see how this goes. I've never used these nylon bristle wheels. I usually use the wire wheels, but this should be less abrasive and it shouldn't eat into the metal. So hopefully that should be good enough to take off all of the surface rust and just kind of like etch in to this like bare metal. right guys, and this is where I'm at so far. So it is getting dark right now. I just wanted to check in before it is completely dark out. So yeah, this is where I'm at so far. So I got pretty much most of the passenger area done. Again, this isn't like a permanent solution. This isn't going to be like the final result. So again, I'm just breaking down all of the surface rust that was already building up, and then from there I'm just throwing on a little coat of this primer just to kind of protect it from getting any rust in the future or from building up more rust. So in areas like these corners, there's still a lot of dirt and it's not the smoothest thing. So once I do come around to actually like start prepping this thing for paint, if I do start prepping it for paint and stuff like that, then I will have to go through and do a lot of sanding. But it's not going to be as bad as when I was building that CB7 Sedan, and I had to like redo a rattle can paint job. So at least now I'm actually starting from a point where it's actually like bare metal and like the factory surface. So this time around it should be a lot easier to actually like prep it for paint. I shouldn't have to go through double the work, and this time it's just going to be a matter of going through it, just kind of sanding it out, smoothing out all the little rough areas, and then I'll probably just go through most of the area and just kind of scuff up all of the primer, and then we can lay down paint on top of this. So this is what I got done. So I got that little kick panel right there. I got most of this done, little spots here. I didn't touch anything on this area. Over here around the back strut towers, I got these big areas done. So you can see that. So on the inside, you can kind of see what it looked like before. So in the trunk, so all the trunk is done. So at some point, I'm gonna have to take all these parts out and then do this all inside the trunk. But you can kind of see what it looked like before with the surface rust. And then now, after I grinded down the surface rust and then put primer over it. So that should protect it. There shouldn't be any more rust building on top of that bare metal. And then I still need to go through and get a bunch of this done, get all of this done, this seat area. And then I want to go through, clean the sound deadening off of the driver's side, and then clean this area up. But again, right now at this point, basically all I'm doing is damage control. I'm not really in the phase where I'm trying to actually like prep for paint. I'm more so just like prepping it to make sure that nothing rots away or the condition doesn't just start to deteriorate. So just making sure we have it at a good point. And once I have all the bare metal under control, and once I have everything all primered, and I know that I'm not going to be building up any more rust, then from there we can start getting the chassis ready to actually start driving and stuff. So that's what I'm actually excited for. But anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. I'll get back with you guys tomorrow once I get started with the rest of it. Alright guys, so I'm not too sure where I left off yesterday or last night, but I did actually get a lot done. So you'd see I got all of that sound deadening tar off of the driver's side, and I did primer it. So you can see I got all of that done. I haven't really touched anything on like the back seat area. This is kind of what I'm going to focus on last, because there wasn't really too much rust or anything like that because I didn't really grind down to bare metal anywhere here. You can see that I still have all of the seam sealer going through there, but from there I didn't really get any of that. So I just got back from Harbor Freight and I got some more supplies because my wire wheels are starting to give out. And I did also get this little Dremel tool right here, and I got some mini wire wheels. So these aren't the most durable, but I'm using these for only a couple little things. So mainly I'm mainly using them for these little areas right here to get the seam sealer out from here and the sound deadening and stuff. So you can see on this side it's all gunked up. So if you look right there, the big wire wheel was just too big to be able to get there, and if I come at this angle, this gets in the way right here. So I just found that those little wire wheels are the best to kind of get to these little edges and also these little like hard to reach corners. So I did spray primer over a lot of the parts where there's still seam sealer, but it's really easy to tell where the seam sealer is. So I'm just gonna go through, and now that I actually have the small wire wheel, I could go through and actually grind out all of the little parts of seam sealer that I was missing. And I also got the trunk done. So kind of see, I already did kind of like scuff up a bunch of it, so you can kind of see it's looking a little bit like sandy and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I really even showed the trunk before, but the wheel wells right here, or like the strut towers, they were getting super rusted, and just kind of some areas in the trunk that kind of collected water, those were getting a little rusty, but now it's all good. If you guys can see that, I mean, it's gonna be like this for a while. I mean, it's definitely not the cleanest thing, but this is a lot better than that bare metal and rust and stuff, you know. So yeah, that'll be good for a while, protect it. And from here, like I said, I'm just gonna go over all of the little details and the little corners and stuff, and then from there I can start on this section. So I'll probably go through the back seat area so I could have a little place to sit on and stuff, and then from there, once I get that done, then I could work on that area right there. I could work on that area right there. Then I do want to get all of this stuff off of the doors. So this little like goopy material, I don't even know what you call this. It's kind of like seam sealer, but it's like more soft. So I want to get this stuff off the door, and get this stuff off the door. So I want to get this stuff off the door. I want to get the steering column on, get the steering wheel on, that way I could actually steer it. And I think I want to get the car pushed over there so that I could have some shade while working on this thing. I do want to get the sunroof on, and I want to prep the windshield area. I want to get all of this stuff off because it's super messed up. It's super jaggedy, and there's a couple areas that have rust on it right here. So I want to just, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm probably going to have to like wire wheel this stuff off, clean it up. That way I could get somebody over here to get a windshield on this thing. So yeah, get a windshield on. I need to buy all the little plastic clips so I could get my trim on. I could get these windows on, but I need to get the trim on. So I'm waiting for the clips for the trim, get the windows on, and I still need a window regulator because I think I threw my window regulators away. I'm probably gonna try to look for manual ones, but I don't know if this window is gonna, because this window is huge, so I don't know if that'll be too heavy for a manual. But yeah, so yeah, I just need a window regulator, then I could get these windows on. Once I get it sealed up, then I can start putting in seats, the dash, all that stuff, and get it ready to start rolling. Yeah, I'm just gonna get to it, and let's go. All right guys, this is where I'm at so far. So I'm sure you guys have seen on the inside, I pretty much have already grinded down and put primer over most of the rust spots and most of the bare metal spots. So the only parts on the interior that I'm missing at the moment is these little squares right here where the front seats actually get mounted. So yeah, I'll just call these the little middle squares. And so yeah, I still need to grind all of that down. grind down all of the seam sealer, and then just kind of grind down all of this just kind of like messy stuff that gets left behind by the sound deadening. Then I could throw primer over that. And I just got done grinding down this door here, and I threw primer over it. I do need to just take this door latch off. I didn't have any tools with me, so I just kind of got everything else done. But right now I'm going to take this door latch off, grind down the rest of it that I was missing right there, and then prime that. And I just got done with the windshield also. So you can kind of see the frame around the windshield is all grinding down with some primer over it. Did the same with the hood latch, or the hinge for the hood. And yeah, everything is starting to clean up a bit, so I'm liking it. I mean, definitely is not the cleanest thing. I'm still waiting to order the little like trim clips, those little plastic clips that hold the trim in place. So once I order those, then I could get somebody over here to actually put the windshield in. So from here, I'm kind of taking a little break just because I have gone through a bunch of wire wheels and I finished off all of the nylon things. So I was in the process of grinding down the passenger door, but I just finished off the last of my wire wheels, the last of my stuff. So I'm gonna have to go to the store and re-up on some wire wheels. All right guys, here we are. So I'm pretty sure you guys already saw from earlier, I got all of the windshield done. So inside, this is where it's at. So I just got that done. I didn't finish that little line because my little rotary tool just kind of gave out on me. It completely stopped turning on. So I'm not too sure what's wrong with that. It might have overheated or something, but I'm just giving it a little bit to cool down. I'm gonna test it out a little bit later. But yeah, until that thing starts working again, or until I get a new one, this is kind of where I'm at so far. So I kind of got all of the seam sealer off of this like main back area where it goes to like the back seat area. So I got all of that. Then I need to clean up this last little square here, and then I need to get the seam sealer off there, and then seam sealer off here, and put some primer on that, and that's basically it. I got both doors done already. So yeah, it's not the prettiest, but it'll be a lot cleaner than all of that sound deadening and stuff all over. And the engine bay is gonna need a lot of work. Once I get the engine out of here, then I'm gonna need to go through and grind off all the rust, grind off all the seam sealer and all that stuff, you know. So just kind of the same thing that I did with the Sedan a long time ago, but this time I'm actually trying to do it right, and I'm actually kind of trying to keep it all clean and stuff, you know. And since I did this all with the Sedan already, hopefully I did learn a thing or two. So this time around it should be a lot easier, and I'm hoping the results should come out a lot better. Although right now, obviously, like I said, I'm not trying to like go for like a show car. I'm not trying to paint it or anything right now. I'm just kind of cleaning up all of this stuff, all of the rust, all of the damage, all of the things that make it look like a clapped out rust bucket, you know. So I'm just trying to get it to like a nice like first base, a nice starting point, so that way from there, once I get the engine ready, once I get the engine in and all that stuff, it'll actually be like cool project going from there, you know. From there we can go and you know, take one project on at a time. But overall, since painting is just like a time-consuming process in general, I don't want to just spend all my time on the chassis and stuff when I could be putting this thing together and actually enjoy it, you know. So I'd rather just spend more time actually putting it together to enjoy it instead of making it look good. Whereas making it look good could come later on once I'm actually driving it and stuff. So yeah, it's the priorities, you know. So first, let's get this thing running. Let's actually enjoy it. Let's get hyped on it, and then from there we can get it clean and make it look the way I want it to look. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep the process going on this, try to get the chassis all cleaned up, and once I get any more news or make any more progress on the engine, I'm definitely gonna keep you guys posted on that. And yeah, other than that, I'll see what I film. I'm sorry I haven't been really filming too much of this again, this is just really time consuming stuff. I just really want to get all of this done while I can. And right now it is really hot, and whenever I set the camera up for time lapses, it kind of overheats and stuff. So all right guys, the coupe is gone. No, I'm just kidding. So I moved it over here now. Gonna be working on it, and got the cherry picker all set up. Finally gonna be getting this engine out of here. It's all junked up. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna be doing with it. If anybody wants to come grab it, come pick it up. Automatic transmission. Probably gonna be junking this stuff if anybody doesn't come grab it. So yeah, so anyway, I already got it all hooked up. Got this little leveler hooked up to a couple parts on the block, and right now I did already start loosening up a couple of the mounts around. So one issue that I may come across is I still have this axle connected. The driver's side axle is not, but the passenger side is. So I'm just kind of thinking I may be able to kind of pull it out this way and maybe like pry that axle off or something once it's kind of out of the way or something. I'm not too sure. We'll see how this goes. But for now, we'll just kind of give this a try, see how it comes out. All right, and here it is, guys. So got the engine out, and I separated the transmission as well. That automatic transmission is so heavy. I honestly did not expect it to be that heavy, but man, that thing is, I don't know, that transmission alone is way heavier than this block setup, and it probably is heavier than the engine setup with the head and everything altogether. But anyway, we got that separated. If anyone wants to come grab it, you guys can hit me up. Let me know if you're in the Phoenix area. Could come and grab it. And the block as well. The block, I'm probably not going to be getting rid of it just yet because I'm going to be getting a couple parts off of it, like the motor mount right here, because the one that came off of the Sedan, or the one that came off of my my built engine, it's a little bent. So yeah, we're going to take this guy. Then from here, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with the rear mount and this mount, because in order to get my engine in there with the manual transmission, I'm probably going to have to buy different motor mounts right here for the automatic chassis. So since this was a automatic Accord, I think they did something with this side mount. I think it's slightly higher than the manual. And then back here, the whole motor mount is completely different. It's this huge motor mount. So I'm not too sure why they did that so different. Kind of annoying. So I'm gonna get my innovative rear mount, see if it'll even fit on this cross member, which I'm not too sure it will. And if anything, if it doesn't fit, I'm just gonna go through and see where it fits best. And once the engine's ready to go, and once I actually have the bracket on there, I'm probably gonna throw my own riv nuts in the K member here. That way I could mount my my rear motor mount, and yeah, it should be good to go. Sheesh. All right, and this is how the coupe is sitting at the moment. So I don't know what I talked about with the interior. I'm not too sure where. So I'm not too sure what I talked about yesterday with the interior. But my rotary tool crapped out on me. It just does not turn on anymore, and it basically crapped out whenever I had this last square to go. So I just said whatever. I went to the store, got some sandpaper, got this. This tool is actually sick. This is like some sort of scraper, and it actually comes with all kinds of different bits so you can scrape with all kinds of different shapes. And basically use that and a bunch of sandpaper, got all of the seam sealer off, sanded down all of this stuff, and threw some primer over it. So yeah, so the power tools gave out, and I wasn't giving up. I wanted to get the interior done, and got it done last night. So this is kind of what it's gonna look like, all patchy and all primered and weird looking, but it's way cleaner than it used to be. So that's honestly all I really wanted. There's no more rust in here, so that's super good. Oh yeah, and to get the car pushed back over here, I did get the steering column attached, so it does turn and stuff. I am gonna switch this one out for the one that was in the sedan, because that one's all painted and stuff. The steering column, I'm still not too sure if I'm gonna use the one from the sedan or if I'm gonna use this one. I may use the one from the sedan, but for now I'm just keeping this one on here because it actually has the wheel on. The other one just has the NRG hub, because I stole my NRG quick release for the E36 over there. So yeah, so right now I'm just gonna keep this one on here for the steering wheel. Now I moved it back over here because this tree actually provides way more shade along with the wall and the house and stuff. So I do just get a lot more shade over here, and now that it's gonna be getting really hot, that's gonna be really important. And not to mention, we were way closer to the cherry picker, so we were able to pick that thing up, move it over here, and then I was able to get the engine out. So that was kind of the whole plan, to get the car over here, just to kind of move it closer to everything else that's going on, closer to the garage and all that stuff. So yeah, from here, I'm not too sure what else I'm gonna be getting into. I think on the next video, I'm gonna start getting the engine bay all prepped, because I kind of wanted to start getting the interior all put back together, like throw the dash, throw some seats in and all that stuff. But since I am going to be grinding the engine bay, a lot of that stuff is going to be shooting into the interior, so I'm just going to wait on the interior until I kind of grind down and prep the engine bay. So that's kind of what I'm waiting on. That's going to be in the next video. Make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. All right, guys, and really quick before I close out this video, so I just realized in the last video where I was taking apart the engine, I didn't talk anything about the ITBs. So in the next video, I'm going to be going over this and all the info and stuff. So I'm not exactly too sure what to talk about or what to go over. I did get a lot of questions about the ITBs, but that was a long time ago whenever I first assembled the engine. So if you guys do have any questions, make sure you guys drop in the comments down below. That way I could kind of have a list of questions to answer whenever I'm making the video for these. So drop those comments down below. And one more thing, I'm gonna be getting the rack and pinion out of the coupe, and I'm gonna be redoing the manual rack and pinion conversion. So if you guys did have any questions about the manual rack and pinion conversion, anything about that, make sure you guys drop that down in the comments below. That way I could just kind of have a better idea for what kind of questions to answer, what you guys are curious about and stuff like that. But overall, I am planning on making a better video about converting the hydraulic rack and pinion over to a manual rack and pinion. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up in the next couple of videos. So keep an eye out. So I am gonna wrap this video up now. See you guys in the next one. Later.